Hey YouTube, Kiraqualia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard market price watch video for February 2019. Want to do an update just on a bunch of different cards that came out recently. We had the trial decks for Naoki Ishida and Misaki Tokura, along with the Miyagi Academy CF Club booster pack released. A bunch of different prices changed for cards, including the different foils we received in the trial decks, which we had a bunch of different ones instead of the usual signed, Vanguard promo that you could potentially get from so many. I like the take they did with the cards. It led to a lot of expensive cards at that, just because of the rare ratios for each one of the foils you can get. So let's go ahead and start off the video with those cards. So we're going to look at the Naoki Ishida trial deck. As you can see, front triggers, critical triggers, there's plenty of foil cards in these trial decks that really are holding some pretty good value. You can see alone here that the front trigger and the critical trigger alone are in the $30 range. So just pulling one of these could probably make your money back from one trial deck alone. The starter as well, holding pretty good value, since this is the only way you can get the starter for the Narukami trial deck. Other ones include the heel trigger, which I'm actually surprised isn't as expensive, since these three triggers are, I would say pretty much standard for any Narukami deck. And like I said, with the average price for the trial deck, if you get lucky, you should be able to pull at least a foil that will, make your money back on it, or at least good chances, since there's a chance that any of the cards in the trial deck, except for the assigned ones, could be pretty expensive, or at least make you a good part of what you purchased for the trial deck back. Other ones include, the grade 2s, grade 1s, maybe some of the draw triggers that aren't used, since we have the Sentinel versions in the booster pack. But other than that, you have, just people that may want to get a full set of the foil cards, depending on what they are. So making it so each one will at least be sought after in a different way for sure. When we move on to the Misaki Tokura trial deck, you can see it follows in trend the same suit. Basically, I'd say it has a few more expensive triggers, including, since the fact that it is a Protect deck and not a Excel. We don't have a front trigger, obviously, so 2 critical triggers holding value in this one, along with the heel trigger as well. I don't think Miracle Kid, which is the draw trigger, I think it's in the single digits value-wise, but same trend with 3 cards being expensive before the actual price of the trial deck, and then cards below it. Still, like I said, good chances you at least make half your money back, depending on what foil you pull from the trial deck. The one thing that surprises me the most is the fact that Lozenji Magus being, in the single digit price range. I don't know if there was like an increased ratio of her guaranteed with some of the trial decks compared to some of the other cards. Not 100% sure, but still find that quite odd, because the Narukami one is $20 also in comparison. But yeah, Miracle Kid holding the single digit value, while some of the other ones following in the same trend. I'd say there's more pricey cards in the Misaki trial deck. So if you're looking to, buy a trial deck just for trade bait or to pull, I'd definitely go with this one over the Narukami one. Moving on to some actual other cards from other booster sets, we have plenty of Link Joker foils just bumping up in price. We have the newest set coming out, which releases the support for Link Joker. We also have a trial deck coming out for Ibuki Koji before that as well. And with it, we have support for deleters. I think we have a good amount of, Star-vader support in the form of, support for Schwarz Shield as well, meaning we have strides just for deleters from the Rondu of Chaos and Salvation, the Stargate booster pack, you name it, all having pretty much increased hype prices for sure, depending on what cards you are looking for in the set. So with just some of the deleters, you can see increased prices from what they originally were. If you have playsets saved and you're looking to move them, now is definitely the time to do so. Even cards like Chaos Breaker Crisis, one of the many forms of Chaos Breaker Dragon, just shot up in price, incredibly. I think this one was also from Rondu of Chaos and Salvation. Yes, so I think this card was actually Not this price during the last time I checked for, the market watch, but it still is holding very, very good value, that's for sure. And, it's probably going to have this hype with the more and more Link Joker support we get. Even after the newest set that is coming out, we have another one confirmed that is giving us Messiah support as well, which we'll show later on in the video, just what has changed for, those cards price-wise as well. Skull Witch Domain, we have Shadow Paladin support coming out in the Deleter set as well. So all the old support I think is going to shoot up in price. I've seen it happening with plenty of other cards, at least cards that will be usable in the set. I believe Domain will be one of those cards for sure. So hopefully if you have your playset now, which, if you're looking forward to the Shadow Paladin support, you're probably playing the deck beforehand, so you should have your Domain playset ready to go and use. Some other ones include, now this one I actually found quite interesting looking on it, and then it gave me some thought with the BT, with the standard set 7 coming out later this summer. We have Nova Grappler support confirmed. I'm not sure, what support we will receive, whether it be more Riser support, which I think we have a few cards released for Riser already. We may receive some more Ashura Kaiser support, which, if you're using Ashura Kaiser with its old support and just included with the, premium support, this stride, I would say, is a lot more viable, just, having a stronger unit to stride onto with this one and use with all the other different units. So picked up a little bit of value in that sense for sure. So thought it was pretty interesting. This used to not be that expensive of a stride, but nice to see that at least picked up some sort of value in the long run for the Ashura Kaiser lineup. Now this one is insane. I believe it is the result of a buyout, of course, but Cosmetic, Snowfall, Shirayuki. We have Shirayuki support in the newest Violet's Deleter set as well. And this is just crazy what the prices have gone to. I don't think I've ever seen, I think she may have jumped up at one point, but I never thought it would be this crazy of a price. Just, triple digits for one copy of this card. That is just insane. She has other versions of herself, including rare versions, which are like, less than $1 for a playset. And we have her Stride Fighters Collection 2015 has always been a crazy set price-wise. It's the one where Iseult Stride came out, where, Tsukiyomi Stride came out. Just so many cards that fluctuated in crazy prices. I believe the Musketeer Cecilia Stride was also in it. It was an insane Fighters Collection just for all the support, because they continued to give support for all of these different clans from this set. And funny fact is, Ashura Kaiser also being it. It's not that expensive, but still, we've seen so many. Geronimo from Spike Brothers, all just crazy high prices. But this one definitely does cake the cake. I don't even think I've ever seen Iseult up to the $100 point at this one. Hopefully it, goes back down, which I know it will once hype dies, but still quite insane, and I hope no one actually has to buy Shirayuki for this price. Now, another one I want to keep an eye out for is the fact that later this year we will be receiving other support for the Mega Colony clan, Tachikaze, you name it. They're all going to be receiving different types of support for their respectable clans. That means, old support that will still be usable, including, the Mega Colony, just for the searching maybe for all the machinings, with the grade 3 Searcher, grade 2 Machining Mantis being a pretty viable card. I can see why it reached this price mark. I think it's, one of the more up there cards for sure compared to some of the other ones in these sets. So very, very nice for sure. Plus, I'm sure in premium format, it's definitely used in any machining Mega Colony deck as well. Plus, I'm not 100% sure. I know that Mega Colony did top a regional, or if it wasn't regional, a Worlds event. So that could also be a big influence. Everyone trying to build this new Mega Colony deck that was released and see just how good the deck actually is. I think it was a Gridora mix. And this being a machining, it's still a generic grade 3 support search with power. So very, very cool for sure. Now, some other cards. I was talking about the Messiah support. If you have a good amount of the Messiah cards, I believe, I'm not 100% sure. I think they are reprinting, one of the Messiahs in the Revival Collection. I may be wrong about that, but we'll be receiving some of that support. Some of the other ones, especially from the Chaos and Salvation set. I think only because it kind of went unnoticed compared to, like, Stargate coming out a few months later. But there was a lot of good support in this one that really, once people learned about it, got back into it, and wanted it for their new decks, they picked it up and caused these price increases, which the third card we've talked about from this set. As you can see, other ones also holding just incredible value, even for, double rares from that set, for people to use with their Messiah, Deleter, and Star-vader decks. More Star-vader, same pack. We've got 4 cards, so if you find a box of Chaos and Salvation, definitely do pick it up, because you'll make some pretty good value if you get it for the right price, of course. With just all these different units just increasing in price for all the new support that's coming out for Link Joker. Definitely hyped up clan for sure, but it is going to be, I would say, a pretty powerful one depending on the type of deck you build. The leaders especially, with all the support they're getting in the form of the trial deck and the booster set Violus Deleters. Now, some other ones that are dropping in price: Blessed Sparkle Sandy from the Fighters Collection. Cards like these you're going to see drop. Keep an eye on the Revival Collection, just for the fact that, it's going to be reprinting a lot of these cards. Cards you may want to get rid of, including, Gancelot for Royal Paladins, the Vanguard Rare, Dragonic Overlord, the Purge, all these different versions. If you're looking just to move them, hoping to pick them up, later when the Revival Collection comes out, they'll definitely be at a cheaper price. Even, cards like Sandy used to be in the $15 range, now $5, just because people, trying to get rid of them fast so they can have, their decks open up for the Revival Collection and get them at a much cheaper price, while selling the old versions for a, raised up price, of course. Now, other ones I want to talk about are the weather forecasts, Miss. This, along with a bunch of other perfect guards, which we'll see here, just really shot up in price. Heal triggers as well for Star-vader from the Galaxy Stargate, just usable ones for premium format, going up in price following the Link Joker trend. But perfect guards shooting up in price. When they get additional support, we don't see the perfect guards get reprinted. They're from the original set that first released the standard support, so you want to make sure that they have, you have them for your deck, because they'll just go up more and more in price. I remember when Mist was, 50 cents when the pack first came out. But then when more and more people want to build Oracle Think Tank and they don't have these Sentinels in the booster packs or the trial decks for people to use, then they go up in price, and then you met with, the card going up 20 times what it was originally when the Q4 set was released. You're going to see this happen with plenty of other perfect guards as well. Iseult is already happening, and when we get more royal support, expect it to, go up more. This already happened with Halo Shield Mark and the Gold Paladin support, and this was an even more recent set as well with the Ultra Rare Miracle Collection. So definitely, pick up perfect guards now while they're low for other specific ones, including Kagero, Nova Grappler, you name it, because I don't think we'll see a reprint of the perfect guards in the upcoming booster packs. Great Nature, with that taking as top at the Worlds as well. I think people were influenced just in all the different forms you could build for Great Nature. Crayon Tiger's always been crazy with the prices. You can see here, $25 range for near mint. We have one on for damage, but the near mint ones are definitely up there in price for sure, just with all the, hype for Great Nature. So, yeah, if you still have your Grand Tigers and you haven't got rid of them yet, I definitely move them now for sure. Some other ones, what we've got. We've already gone through the Perfect Guard. It's Stark Irregulars. I don't think Yellow Bolt actually had a reprint. Not a reprint, but like a V-Series card made in the Violus Deleter set. So for premium, if you want to go for the Soul Charge early game with Yellow Bolt, definitely good play for sure. The value is definitely affected, and it's been sticking around this $12 range for quite some time. It's an old card, a definitely hard to come by card for sure. So I can understand why this card's just holding that value. For a couple other smaller ones that I overlooked, Pentagonal Magus, this one actually, dropped down surprisingly more than I thought, but also bear in mind that you get usually 2 Vanguard rares from the Miyagi Academy CF Club boxes, so obviously you're going to see a decline in the prices for the cards. The Murakumo one is, I believe, $7 to $8 for the normal Vanguard Rare version. And I think the highest Vanguard Rare is around, $15 to $16. So it's quite crazy. If you want, it's the easiest way to pick up your Vanguard Rares from that set now. I expect Violus Deleters, if they follow the same trend of 2 Vanguard Rares per box, to have the same price range for these cards. So a little easier for people to pick up as well, which I think is cool, definitely, for sure. And a couple rares just to look at. Heat Elemental Bobo, just a Cray Elemental staple in a lot of decks for sure. If you have them, pick them up now. Be good for just the Soul Charge build up, damage build up for sure. Also, and I'm also seeing Battle Sister Coco, the original triple rare, hitting some big value as well. The rare, I think, was also a couple of dollars. If you have these, definitely throw them in your binder. They'll be good value for sure in the upcoming decks that we'll see played in all the big events for sure. But that is it for this episode of Market Price Watch. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like I said, I always love going over the prices. It reinforms me on a bunch of different ones for sure. Trying to share out with everyone else as well, just what's changed in the game, whether it be for good or bad, hyped up prices, you name it. But until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kiraqualia out.